everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about another local issue with regards to autism in my hometown. I found an article on my local national newspaper called the Ipswich Star, and the title is called "No One Wanted to Know. Parents Speak Out About Autism Crisis." It was published on the 25th, which was yesterday. And it's published by Suzanne Day, and it says parents of autistic children across Suffolk have shared their frustrations about how long it takes for their children to be assessed. This comes just after NHS data waiting times for autism assessments are currently double the 13-week period that they currently should be. Gemma Lowe, 33, is a mum who is still waiting for a diagnosis for her 8-year-old son Thomas. His first appointment took 6 months to reach them. She was then told that he was definitely on the spectrum. We're just waiting and waiting, and been told it can be a year and a half to 4 years to get a diagnosis. Another parent, Miss Lord, was waiting a while for her son to be diagnosed, who was finally diagnosed at 3.5 after raising concerns at 1.5. And she says what was crucial was early intervention, but sadly no one wanted to know or wanted to help her. She also advises other parents not to give up hope with diagnosis. Paige Giles, another parent, another mum fighting for her son, and had to fight extreme stress and depression. It made her feel that it was her fault and that she was a rubbish parent. But she's been having support from the Widows Children's Centre, who've been giving her loads of support during her difficult times. I've got some questions about this because as an adult myself who was diagnosed as a child, if I would have had a diagnosis, it would have been a lot more easier. The problem is being a child, you often get put back through the cracks. You get dropped through the system because not a lot of people understand what you're trying to do and what you're trying to go through. The problem is they often don't believe that a child has autism or ADHD, things like that. You're often just left to wait and wait and wait through the system, and unfortunately that does not work. This article proves that the parents are getting stressed, depression, anxiety, the children are feeling depressed and anxious and sometimes suicidal. So questions I've got for the local mental health trust and the local hospitals paediatrics is why is the wait still so long for autism assessments with regards to children? Surely there's a quicker time frame and a quicker pathway for these guys to be assessed and diagnosed. Surely there does not need to be at least a 2-year wait for autism assessment. I understand that there's a pathway and I understand there's timing and funding and all that kind of thing. I get it because I went through it myself. But surely 2 years for a child, that's torture. And the poor parents who have to help them and support them and go through the stress and anxiety, blaming themselves, thinking that it's their fault. Also, what pathways could we improve support for both parents and children who are having to go through this awful process? Because it's long, it's timely, it costs money, it costs work hours, it costs patience and all sorts. The parents are getting to their wits' end, their children are getting out of hand, their children are getting anxiety, depression. Their children don't know why they're struggling. They're having to go through school, feeling difficult, feeling odd, being bullied, being ostracised. The teachers don't know what to do with them because of the behaviour. So surely we could sort that out. There's got to be some way we can work together to get this sorted out. Also, how could we better improve autism assessment progress? So like keeping the parents up to date, making sure they're informed of when the appointments are, how long the appointments are going to be, what they need to bring with them, e.g. research and proof about milestones, etc. What about offering out an out-of-county assessment? So maybe they have to travel a bit just to get an assessment done. Maybe that could be an option. Also, offer home assessments. Get the psychologists, social workers, psychiatrists to come to you. Get these guys to come out to the actual homes of people with autism or suspected autism to lower their anxiety, lower the depression, lower the stress for the mum or dad who has to go through this so that they don't have to go out of their home and be stressed and everything else. What about recruiting more psychologists, social workers, support workers? That would be a big bonus. If they had somebody like a social worker or support worker on their constant case helping them through the process, this would lessen the anxiety, the depression, the stress, the emotional upsets, the outbursts by the child. This would really help. Surely we could lower the waiting times for children, ensuring that their mental health and physical health comes down lower in the process. I can personally relate to this as somebody who is not assessed to adulthood. I feel that I was failed as a child. The education system just doesn't understand. The physical health system doesn't understand. It's because of lack of communication, lack of assessment details, lack of training on autism in general, because there was no actual autism services in Suffolk, I believe, until 2012. So there's been not a service to actually get diagnosed. So a lot of us have had to go out of county or had to go private, which private assessments aren't accepted under the NHS. So again, that causes a barrier. We need to be communicating properly. This is the problem. Professionals like me who are out there helping people, and people who are professionals are not communicating with people who are waiting. This is what is causing the physical health problems. We need to be in better communication. There needs to be more regular updates to say how long the child is expected to wait, what would happen, how long they're going to be seen for, and what the next port of call is. Again, this comes down to funding, it comes down to time, it comes down to training. I can understand that. I can understand there's a way and there's a reason, but surely 2 years is enough. For a poor child to have to wait 2 years, it's just not on. So I challenge my local MP, my counsellors, social workers. I beg you to meet with me and start a project with this, because I really want this to see change. I really want to help these parents deal with their children and get their children the help that they so properly deserve. So yeah, if you like this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe for more. Until next time, bye!